stimulus checks, and a raise to monthly benefits for Social Security, including retirement, disability, SSDI, survivors, SSI, VA, and RRB, as well as additional money for the low-income, no-income, seniors, older adults, the elderly, and people with disabilities. I have all the details and what we want to focus on right here in this video. Let's get right into it. All right, so in this video, we want to focus on stimulus checks, whether it happens to be a one-time lump sum payment, possibly even monthly recurring payments, or maybe even better, a permanent raise to monthly benefits for all those beneficiaries I mentioned at the beginning of this video. So I do want to get into this and talk about all the details as well as some key factors that are going on right here, right now that we do know. So let's get right into it. However, really fast before we do, thank you so much for joining me. If you're new here or if you haven't done so yet, make sure to subscribe by hitting the button right down below the video. It's totally free to do so. It always has been and always will be to be subscribed and of course to watch all the videos here on the channel. I'm here for you right by your side every single day as your one and only daily advocate, keeping you updated with everything going on right now as things are changing very rapidly and making sure that you're staying updated with all the moving parts and anything that is introduced as of right now with all of these packages, proposals, amendments, programs, money, benefits, checks, stimulus, and so many other things that continue to hit the table right here, right now, and that are being enacted as we speak. So again, thanks so much for joining me. Please make sure to subscribe down below if you haven't done so yet, and I'll continue to be here for you right by your side, helping you out in any way that I possibly can. All right, thanks again. Let's jump into this because there are some interesting moving parts right now that I certainly want you to be aware of as it pertains to stimulus checks, monthly recurring payments, and of course, raise to monthly benefits. All right, so I want to point out a few things here because there's some interesting talk going on in Congress right now. So as we've talked about previously in another video, I do want to point this out for you really quickly here, just in case you didn't see that video. We do know this much as of right now. Time is a ticking away when it comes down to Congress and what they want to get done before the midterm elections. So I want to point this out simply because they know just as much as we do that they want to get something done for the people. At the same time, there is talk that they do want to get another reconciliation bill done, which by the way, reconciliation bill means they can put virtually anything into it that they desire, with the exception of a few different things. However, they certainly can add stimulus checks into another reconciliation bill, just like they did last year in March of 2021. They want to get another bill done. So we even heard maybe a week and a half or so ago, Tim Kaine, who is one of the lawmakers, came out and talked about it potentially being professional malpractice to leave a reconciliation opportunity on the table. So there you go. That's what they're thinking about, right? So anyway, they do want to get this done. Now, they've kind of shown us a little bit of their hand, like a good old, card game. You don't want to show the opponent your cards, right? Well, in this case, unfortunately, they've kind of shown us their cards. In other words, they're vulnerable, as in right now, they are pretty much on the table right now where they want to get something done for the people, and they've kind of shown us their hand, whereas we're pretty much vulnerable at this point. We need to get something done for the people, and they recognize that they need to get something done here. Otherwise, they may be proven that they can't get anything done, right? That they have not done anything for the people. In fact, Elizabeth Warren was just out, maybe a week and a half ago or so, talking about how she is worried that they're not going to deliver for the people. Well, again, they have some time here in front of them to get this done. But if they wait much longer, we may be actually up in a position where there simply won't be time to get something done. All right, so here's where this all kind of parlays into the next opportunity. So we have them kind of in the sweet spot right now, right? So Congress is in a potential situation right now where they're kind of, like I said, in the sweet spot. Therefore, maybe we can kind of get into them a little bit and exploit this, as in maybe get to them and say, hey, here's the opportunity, because as they've always said, never let a crisis opportunity kind of go to waste. The saying is something like that. Anyway, maybe this is a great opportunity for us as well, being these individuals and this community that we're in right here, to jump out there and get in front of Congress and to say, hey, here's your opportunity to present something to us, and here are some of the options. So here's what I want to do. We've done this before, but again, you never, you know what I mean? Like, considering that it's been a little while since we've done something like this, I think it is time to do this once again. And that would be drafting a letter to send out to Congress. Now, I do know that a lot of you here in the community love when we do this. And I know that some of you think there's no point. They don't read it anyway. But the fact of the matter is, if we do nothing, I guarantee you they won't read it. Because if there's not anything sent out, there's nothing for them to read, right? But here's the thing. If we continue at this, if we continue trying, there's a better likelihood of something actually happening versus if we do absolutely nothing, it's guaranteed that they will read absolutely nothing, right? Because there's nothing to read. So at the end of the day, I'm going to do this once again because I feel like we possibly have them in a really good opportunity right now where they want to get something done, but maybe they are divided on what to do, or maybe they just don't even have a clue on what they need to do right now. Well, we have the options here. Number one, it could be a raise to monthly benefits, even if it's a temporary raise. They could get something like that done potentially through reconciliation, provided it is a temporary raise or provided it is a temporary check that goes out to fixed income beneficiaries. They could do that through reconciliation. However, unfortunately, they cannot do a permanent raise to benefits through reconciliation. That cannot be done through reconciliation. However, if it happens to be more like along the lines of a focused check for a short-term basis, which they could identify as potentially like a UBI program or maybe even a monthly stimulus check focused on the low income and the fixed income, then yeah, they could do that. It's all about the wording and how they actually get this thing through. So in those cases, they could do it through reconciliation. It's just depending on how they actually structure this type of payment. Otherwise, they could always do a one-time check as well. So here's what we want to do. And again, I want to draft this letter, but here's what I want from what I want to ask from you as well. What do you want me to include in this? I know I've asked you this before in other videos, and a lot of times there's really great suggestions that come in. I do read through as many comments as I possibly can, and then I take all those considerations into when I go in and actually draft this letter. So before I start writing on this, I kind of want to ask for what you are actually anticipating out of this. Would you rather have, again, a one-time lump sum check? Would you rather go for monthly payments? Like, what would it be? Or all of the above? I mean, that's also an option too. We can go for all of it, right? So anyway, I'd love to hear from you on this. Kind of everybody's situation is different. So some people may need a big one-time lump sum payment. Other individuals may say, hey, forget the lump sum. I don't need that so much right now. I need more like ongoing payments, something a little bit to supplement my income going forward every single month. That is what is most beneficial to me going forward. And again, there might be some of you that reach out and say, yeah, send me the lump sum plus send me a little bit of additional for the end of the year or through the next year or, whatever it happens to be. Again, everybody's situation is very, very different. Therefore, the need is also very different. So anyway, as I've always said before in previous videos where we make these letters and we send out to Congress, again, I like to make them as short as possible simply because if I send out this big 3-page document, the likelihood of them reading it is probably very slim. If I send out a little half page, the likelihood of them reading it is probably a little bit better, provided they even open it and or look at it in the first place. But again, we don't know that. There's never been confirmation. There's never been any kind of indication that yes, they're opening them or no, they are just going right into the recycling. We have no clue. But the fact of the matter is, we got to keep trying. That's all I know right now is that we need to keep trying, and ultimately something may prevail. That is something that I do know we need to continue doing. So giving up is not an option, not for me anyway. So anyway, that's why I want to continue doing this. And like I've said before, I want to do whatever I possibly can to help you out during this time. I know what's going on right now. I see the comments down below every single day. The struggle's real. The difficulties are real. The money, the lack of money right now is certainly a real thing. We've talked about it with all the reports that have been coming out recently, and it's a real thing. So anyway, I feel like we potentially have Congress in a really good place right now because time has a ticking away here because they haven't done anything. Well, as a result of that, they're basically just setting this whole stage up for themselves. So maybe we can take advantage of that a little bit by kind of telling them exactly what we are looking for during this time. So anyway, leave your comments, questions, and suggestions down below. I'll do my best to just read as many comments as I possibly can. Again, I usually get quite a few comments on these types of videos. So again, I'll read as many as I possibly can. The likelihood of me responding to all of them or even some is probably less simply because I want to read as many as possible and I probably won't spend all that much time responding. So just recognize that if you leave a comment and I don't respond or anything like that, don't get discouraged. I'm probably reading it. I'm probably just not responding to a whole lot. So anyway, hope that makes sense. Anyway, thanks again. We got to stick together through this. We're going to continue doing everything we possibly can to get an additional lump sum payment, monthly ongoing checks, potentially raises to benefits, things like this, whatever we possibly can out of Congress. So that's why you got to give them some options, right? It's like when you go to the grocery store. You need a couple options on the shelf because, sometimes you just don't want the first option. You see the first brand and you might think, nah, I don't really want that brand. I want a different option. That's why you get to give them some options here. A one-time lump sum, monthly ongoing checks, a raise to benefits. Pick whichever one you want, Congress, right? So anyway, leave your comments, questions down below. Make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so yet. Share this video with your friends, family, social media. Let's stick together with this and continue doing whatever we possibly can. And of course, make sure to go back and check out some of the other thousands of videos right here on the channel. Thanks again. I really do appreciate it. Enjoy your day. And I look forward to reading your comments down below soon. All right, thanks again. Enjoy, and I'll